Hello, good morning, students, friends. How are you doing? Fine. Okay, we will continue with the most economical channel section. You have already seen all these formulae, basics of open channel formulae, and we have arrived the most economical channel section for rectangular and trapezoidal in the last class. So, what you have learned is a rectangular channel section will be most economical when either the depth of flow is equal to the half of the bottom width or hydraulic radius is equal to half the depth of flow, that is y is equal to b by 2 or capital R is equal to y by 2. Trapezoidal section is said to be most economical when half the top width must be equal to one of the sloping sides of the channel. Also, it is said to be most economical when hydraulic radius must be equal to half the depth of flow. Also, it is said to be most economical when the best bed slope theta must be equal to 60 degrees. That is, when a circle with center O and radius equal to the depth of flow will be tangential to the three sides of a most economical trapezoidal section. That figure we have seen in the last class itself. That is the summary of the last class which we have learned. Now today we will step into finding out the condition for the most efficient section of a triangular channel section. As shown in figure here, a triangular section of a channel with theta is the angle of inclination of each of the vertical sides and y is the depth of flow. And y is the depth of flow. Here, y is the depth of flow of a triangular channel. We know that area is equal to 2 whole multiplied by half multiplied by y multiplied by ny, because if you calculate with the slope given 1 by n, you will get ny. Therefore, area of this small triangle and area of this small triangle are same. Therefore, 2 times half of y into ny, that is equal to ny squared. And wetted perimeter P is equal to 2y whole multiplied by n squared plus 1, because we know to calculate or how to calculate this inclined or sloping side of trapezoidal or triangle. It is given by n squared plus 1. Therefore, wetted perimeter is equal to 2 times y under the root n squared plus 1. From equation 1, that is from this equation 1, y is equal to square root of a by n, and put this equation in 2, we get perimeter P is equal to 2 times multiplied by under the root a by n multiplied by under the root n squared plus 1. Squaring on both sides, we get P squared is equal to 4 times a by n whole multiplied by n squared plus 1, which means P squared is equal to 4a multiplied by n plus 1 upon n. Now, dp by dn is equal to 0, which implies for condition of most economical section, which implies 2p multiplied by dp by dn is equal to 4a whole multiplied by 1 minus 1 upon n squared. You know the derivation of 1 upon n is equal to minus 1 upon n squared. Now, for dp by dn is equal to 0, either a must be equal to 0 or 1 minus 1 by n squared must be 0. Is it not so? But we know, however, a cannot be 0. Area cannot be 0. And therefore, 1 minus 1 upon n squared must be taken equal to 0 here for arriving the condition for economical section. Okay. that is 1 upon n squared is equal to 1 or n is equal to 1. What do you mean by n is equal to 1? N is nothing but tan theta. Tan theta is equal to 1. When tan theta is equal to 1? When theta becomes 45 degrees. Therefore, triangular channel section will be most economical when each of its sloping sides makes an angle of 45 degrees with the angle this theta, and this theta should be equal to 45 degrees with the vertical. Then we will say triangular channel section is the best or most efficient channel section. Now, hydraulic radius capital R is equal to ny square divided by 2y whole multiplied by under the root n squared plus 1. Put n is equal to 1, we have just now derived here or arrived here. If you put n is equal to 1 in this equation, hydraulic radius R, we will get hydraulic radius R is equal to y divided by 2 multiplied by root 2. Okay. Now we will see the most efficient circular channel section. This is the circular channel section shown in figure. Here you can see the circular channel section with radius R and theta on both sides with respect to vertical. Therefore, the total angle is 2 theta. Okay, we'll see. For a circular channel section of any radius R, as the depth of flow varies, depth of flow you can see here, depth of flow, water liquid level symbol also is shown in this small figure very clearly and distinctly you can understand. As the depth of flow varies, the shape of the flow area also varies due to the convergence of the boundaries towards the top. As such, both the wetted area as well as the wetted perimeter varies with the depth of flow. Hence, in the case of circular channel, the condition of area of flow section being constant cannot be applied. You cannot say discharge is constant. Why? Because it keeps on varying from bottom towards the top. Therefore, in this case of circular channels, two separate conditions may be derived for this section. 1. Maximum discharge and maximum mean velocity of flow. So we have to see with respect to these two conditions how we can arrive for circular section. We will see. Condition of maximum mean velocity of flow. V is equal to C under the root Rs. That can be written as C under the root A by P into S. Thus, the flow velocity will have a maximum value when hydraulic radius A by P is maximum. Condition of maximum discharge is Q is equal to AC multiplied by under the root Rs. Therefore, this can be written as C whole multiplied by under the root A cube by P multiplied by S. Thus, the flow velocity will have a maximum value when hydraulic radius A cube by P is maximum. Here it is A by P, here it is A cube by P is maximum. We know that 2 theta is equal to It is shown in the figure. Angle subtended by water surface AB. Water surface AB. This is the water surface AB. AB is the water surface. At the center in radians. Wetted perimeter P is equal to length of arc ADB. Length of arc ADB. That is equal to 2 pi r divided by 2 pi multiplied by 2 theta. That gives you r small r multiplied by 2 theta, where small r is considered as radius of the circular channel section. Therefore, wetted perimeter P is equal to 2r theta. Wetted area A is equal to area ADBA. Refer to the figure, you will get that. ADBA is equal to area of sector OADBO. OADBO is minus area of triangle OAB. Area of triangle OAB. OAB is the triangle. So we have to subtract from this OADBO area minus area of triangle OAB. Then we will get the area of this. Okay, ADB area. That is a liquid flowing through the circular channel section. Hence, wetted area A is equal to 2 theta by 2 pi multiplied by pi r squared minus half of AB into OC. That is equal to r squared theta minus half multiplied by 2AC multiplied by OC. Excuse me. That we will get r squared theta minus of half r squared 2 sin theta cos theta. So you know from mathematics, 2 sin theta cos theta must be equal to sin 2 theta. Therefore, capital A, that is wetted area, is equal to small r squared whole multiplied by theta minus sin 2 theta by 2. Condition for maximum mean velocity of flow through a circular channel section. We will continue in this slide. According to Cheggy's or Manning's formula, the mean velocity of flow through a circular channel is proportional to the hydraulic radius, capital R. As such, the mean velocity of flow will have a maximum value when the hydraulic radius A by P is maximum. Therefore, differentiating hydraulic radius R, that is equal to A by P here, A by P with respect to theta and equate it to 0 for maximum. That is, d by d theta of AP is equal to 0, where A and P both are function of theta, because both parameters will vary. That you remember, please. Both area and wetted perimeter are the functions of theta, means they are variable. P multiplied by dA by d theta minus A upon dP by d theta is equal to 0, which implies or which gives P dA by d theta minus A multiplied by dP by d theta is equal to 0. But we know that A is equal to here. A is equal to r squared whole multiplied by theta minus sin 2 theta by 2. Just now in the last slide we have arrived. Therefore, dA by d theta is equal to dA by d theta is equal to r squared, small r squared, whole multiplied by 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2 multiplied by 2, that is equal to r squared whole multiplied by 1 minus cos 2 theta. Also, we know that P is equal to 2r theta. Therefore, dP by d theta is equal to 2r. Now, from the previous equation, we can write it as 2r theta whole multiplied by r squared multiplied by 1 minus cos 2 theta minus r squared whole multiplied by theta minus sin 2 theta by 2 multiplied by 2r is equal to 0. Please be careful while writing the brackets. While writing the brackets, square bracket or flower bracket or small brackets, you completely close with the corresponding or related brackets so that the value will not alter. Okay. Therefore, further, theta whole multiplied by 1 minus cos 2 theta minus theta minus 2 sin 2 theta by 2 must be equal to 0, which gives theta multiplied by 1 minus cos 2 theta is equal to theta minus sin 2 theta by 2. Theta minus theta cos 2 theta is equal to theta minus sin 2 theta by 2. You simplify this, you will get theta cos 2 theta is equal to sin 2 theta by 2. Now cross multiplied this theta by 2, you will get 2 theta. Then this cos 2 theta, you take it onto the RHS. Therefore, you will get sin 2 theta by cos 2 theta. That is nothing but equal to tan 2 theta. Hence, we can say 2 theta is equal to tan 2 theta. Now, condition for maximum mean velocity, 2 theta is equal to tan 2 theta. Just in the last slide we have seen. Solving above equation by trial and error. By trial and error method, 2 theta we can get the value equal to 257.5. Therefore, theta must be equal to 128.75 degrees. That is by trial and error method. Therefore, depth of flow y is equal to, we know that y is equal to OD. Here, OD minus OC. So, OD minus OC, we will get depth of flow. Depth of flow here. Depth of flow y, we will get OD minus OC. That means that we can write OD as R, OC as R minus cos, minus OC as R cos theta. Therefore, y is equal to R into 1 minus cos theta. If you substitute the value of theta 128.75 degrees, you will get y is equal to 1.62 small r ORR. Y is equal to, that is depth of flow is equal to 0.81 times d, that is diameter of the circular channel section. Therefore, we can conclude that maximum velocity occurs when the depth of flow is 0.81 times the diameter of the circular channel. Or we can say in terms of radius, depth of flow must be 1.62 times the radius of the circular channel section. That is the condition obtained. Okay. Next, condition for maximum mean velocity again with respect to hydraulic radius, we can also get the condition. Hydraulic radius for maximum velocity, capital R is equal to A by P. If you substitute the values, you will get 2.247 radians, or capital R is equal to 0.6086 small r, or capital R, that is hydraulic mean depth, is equal to 0.30 times diameter of the circular section. Hence, we can conclude for maximum velocity occurs with respect to hydraulic radius is 0.30 times the diameter of the circular section. So in exam, any one of the parameters may be asked to find out the condition for most efficient section of a circular channel. Now we will see how the condition can be arrived when we consider the maximum discharge through a circular channel section. Circular channel section we will see now. We will take different color. D by d theta a cube by p is equal to 0, where a and p both are function of theta. Again and again I am saying both area and wetted perimeter are varying in the circular section. P multiplied by 3a square dA by d theta minus a cube dp by d theta divided by p squared is equal to 0, which implies or which gives 3p multiplied by dA by d theta minus a multiplied by dp by d theta is equal to 0. But we know a is equal to r squared whole multiplied by theta minus sine 2 theta by 2. Everything will be similar to previous derivation. Everything is similar to the previous derivation except 3 on LHS, as 3 theta whole multiplied by 1 minus cos 2 theta is equal to theta minus sin 2 theta by 2, that is equal to 3 theta minus 3 theta cos 2 theta is equal to theta minus sin 2 theta by 2. Therefore, 2 theta minus 3 theta cos 2 theta plus sin 2 theta by 2 is equal to 0, which implies 4 theta minus 6 theta cos 2 theta plus sin 2 theta is equal to 0. Solving the above equation by again trial and error method, we get the value 2 theta is equal to 308 degrees approximately, because it is trial and error. Therefore, theta we can arrive as 154 degrees. Then, for maximum discharge, the depth of flow in the channel is y is equal to OD minus OC, as we have seen in the last slide, r minus r cos theta. That means r into 1 minus cos theta is equal to r whole multiplied by 1 minus cos of 154. In the previous case, we have substituted other value for theta which we found out. Here 154. Therefore, y is equal to, that is depth of flow in the circular channel, must be equal to 1.9 times the radius, or depth of flow must be equal to 0.95 times the d. Then what should be the condition? For the maximum discharge through a circular channel, the condition is the depth of flow is equal to 0.9 times the diameter of the circular channel section, or depth of flow in the circular channel must be equal to 1.9 times the radius of the circular section. Now, further, based on hydraulic radius for maximum velocity, also we can arrive the condition, that is capital R, hydraulic radius or hydraulic mean depth, A by P. If you substitute area and wetted perimeter in this equation, we get 2 theta is equal to 308, we have arrived just now in the last slide. Therefore, theta must be equal to 154 degrees. If you substitute that values, you will get, and simplify, you will get R is equal to, hydraulic mean depth R is equal to 0.573 times the radius of the circular section, or hydraulic mean depth R capital is equal to 0.29 times the diameter of the circular section. Therefore, we can arrive and conclude that the maximum discharge occurs when the hydraulic radius or capital R is 0.29 times the diameter of the circular section, or capital R is equal to 0.573 times the radius of the circular channel section. Is it okay? Therefore, we can conclude as a whole today's class summary. Triangular channel section will be the most economical when each of its sloping side makes an angle of 45 degrees with the vertical. that is small n is equal to 1, that is tan theta is equal to 1. When tan theta is equal to 1, theta will be 45 degrees. Or hydraulic mean depth capital R is equal to depth of flow divided by 2 times under the root 2. This is the condition for triangular section. For circular section, condition with respect to velocity and discharge we have arrived. Maximum velocity occurs when the depth of flow is 0.81 times the diameter of the circular channel. Maximum velocity occurs, second condition, hydraulic radius is 0.3 times the diameter of the circular section. That is, depth of flow y is equal to 0.81 d, or capital R hydraulic mean depth is equal to 0.3 times d. Okay. Last summary perhaps for this class. Most economical circular channel section with respect to maximum discharge. For maximum discharge through a circular channel, the condition is the depth of flow is equal to 0.9 times its diameter, or maximum discharge occurs when the hydraulic radius R is 0.29 times the diameter of the circular channel. So mathematically we can express these two conditions as depth of flow small y is equal to 0.95 times the d, or hydraulic mean radius R is equal to 0.29 times the d, where d is the diameter of the circular channel section, R is hydraulic mean depth, small y is depth of flow, as it is very clearly seen in this small figure. Okay, we'll conclude today. References we have already said many number of times. Same reference books we have referred for preparation of these video lectures. You can go through. Thank you for watching patiently. Learn more and more on your own from books by studying carefully and practicing it at home. All the derivations and equations you have to practice. Then only it is possible for you to acquaint with the derivations or solving numerical problems very clearly. Okay, we'll stop here.